There is a 90% chance that I am a scumbag.
I'm a real scumbag, senpai.
I'm a scumbag too, you freaking idiot.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for our listeners who sent in their thoughts on the show so far. Big fans. We set up some voice recording things, and we want to hear. We want some feedback on the show, and these people have sent it in, and it's been pretty nice. I think it's been pretty positive. So we'll be looking into that some more.
We care about the voice of the people, the Vox Populi.
Vox Populi. That's some Latin for you. We gotta squeeze in Latin, Roman shit in every episode, just a little bit. Anyway, welcome to the show. I'm one of the hosts. My name is Elliot. I'm here with Skylar, the other host of the show, and we're gonna spend about an hour or so just talking about shit and getting down to the real nitty-gritty questions in life that need answered.
I really like that we set up the expectation that we're only going to do an hour. We don't promise more. We don't promise less. You know exactly what you're going to get with Midwest Scumbag. Z
Exactly.
At the end. Or a Z if you want. If you prefer a Z, that's fine too. Except not the racist Russian Z, just a regular Z.
Oh, there's a racist Russian Z?
The Russians, they use Z. They write it on all of their vehicles and stuff. So it's it's basically a swastika now.
Oh, huh.
I don't know what it
means
or refers to. I think it refers to their army in general. Maybe there's some word that starts or sounds with a word that starts with Z. I don't know how the Russian alphabet works. I don't pretend to. Cyrillic is an alien language to me. Or an alien, whatever. It looks funny.
Might as well be an alien language, dude. Fucking... Could you imagine if we made contact with aliens and they just spoke Russian because that was the best language on the planet?
God, yeah, out of all the fucking languages here on the earth, like Chinese, Japanese, whatever, Laotian or Thai,
Spanish,
Sanskrit.
Yeah, which I think Sanskrit is just a written language now. I don't know enough about Indian languages or Hindi and the other one or two. There's a handful of them.
There's a lot of them. But we're not here to talk about
country
that
in the
today.
World. No, we're not. We're not. What we are here to talk about, though, is I don't know, summer anime. So the summer season just ended for at least the first part of the summer. I think there's probably a part 2 in July. I can't see them taking a huge break until autumn, right?
Yeah.
Fall anime.
I mean, yeah. So would that start
and
with
there's always
Attack
weird
on
shows.
Titan? Would that be considered summer anime?
No, that ended in... That was a winter.
I mean, it
was a winter
started
run.
in winter and ended what was it, March?
Late
April?
winter.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it that far back? Man.
It kind of was, yeah. And it was because it ended in such a way that it was oh, it's the final season, but not really. And I didn't realize the last episode was the last episode, and I was like, oh, okay. I thought there would be more, but no, they're clearly leading it into a movie or another season, the final season or something. I don't fucking know, but yeah, it's not over. That's that's all I know. Spy X Family was a big one. That was the big. I think that was probably the biggest one this season, and I don't know what could be said about. Have you seen any of it?
I've seen a little bit of it. I haven't watched the full thing.
Okay.
Didn't Kaguya also have a run this summer?
Yeah, Kaguya ended. Which this arc that it ended on, you could probably call. You can call the end of the the big main story, and then I think afterwards it gets in, because I read some of the manga after season 2. I got real into Kaguya-sama, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna read the manga and get ahead, and I did, and it was fantastic. And then it gets, I mean, it continues after this 3rd season for sure, but it kind of slows down. It's less about the main 2 characters, and it starts getting into the side characters and their love interests and things like that, which is fun, which is cool. I'm all about Ishigami-kun. He's a straight up Chad. So, but yeah, that just ended. Ultra romantic, that arc, and it was beautiful. It's well worth a watch.
I can't remember.
But
if
I
watched
am
the first
weak.
or second season of that. It's been so long now.
Yeah. It's worth a watch, man. I'm fucking, you know me. I'm weak to romantic comedies because I just want my life to be better than it is and to have some sort of spark of romance in it that isn't there now.
Well, sure. I mean, that's the whole appeal of those types of manga and anime. It's, you know, an idyllic, you know, teenage romance written by a very depressed middle-aged man.
Yeah, probably. Most of them, I think, unfortunately. Like, I would, it's real sad that, like, I moved around a lot when I was young, so I never really established that, like, childhood friend of the opposite gender who we, like, would fall in love eventually down the line when we realized that we'd been in love all these years.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Par for the course.
So I've never had that set up in my life. So seeing it play out in anime, it's really sweet. It cuts me to the core, man. Another rom-com that I liked that I didn't realize it was brand new. What was it called? Science Types Fell in Love, so they decided to prove it. That was a good one. That was pretty good. I haven't finished it yet because I started watching the English dub because I was like, okay. It was one of those nights where I got home and I was like, I want to put on anime, but I don't want to, like, sit and read everything. I'm an English dub loser, so, like, I can enjoy some English dub, and I didn't realize it was, like, actually brand new, so, but it's really good. I think you'd enjoy it. It's a good rom-com that isn't set in high school times, so a little bit more relatable. They're like graduate students in heavy science fields, and it's real cute. I recommend it to anybody who likes science and or romance.
Huh.
It's pretty good.
That's the
it's pretty
appeal
good.
of anime. I mean, there's something for everybody. There's whatever flavor of anime you want out there. If you can think of it, it probably exists. I mean, really.
Yeah, there's all the sports anime, which are kind of cool. I've never watched them because, they don't appeal to me, but if you're like a big soccer head, Aoashi, which means blue feet, that's one that I just saw recently.
What's the tennis
I didn't
one?
watch it.
Big famous one, right? There's a big famous one that's tennis.
Yeah, there's a big the Prince of Tennis, maybe.
And that might be it. Yeah, that could be the one I'm thinking of. I know our school's library, they had like all of it. It almost took up a whole shelf.
The librarian was just a huge manga fan. I can't imagine her being at least the main librarian from high school. I can't remember. I just remember her every time we had some sort of fucking assembly in the library where we had to do something on the computer, like do research or whatever. And
wasn't she like the head of the creative
the fishing
writing club
filter?
Too?
Yeah, yeah,
Which we
she
both
was.
were.
Damn right.
A little bit of lore.
That was
the scumbag lore for you, folks. Elliot and I were in the creative writing club in high school, and we were like,
fuck yeah.
Were we like officers too?
Oh, maybe.
I think we were both.
I don't know. It was like the
something.
only. It was like the only club I ever joined.
Like all
in high
seven
school.
of us that were in it.
Yeah. I just know I fucking that one time we had like a poetry contest, and it was the same day that there were tryouts for one of the plays. I think it was probably the musical senior year, and so I went up first, read my poem, and then I was like, "Aight, peace," and didn't listen to anybody else's poems. And then I came back and was like, "Oh, you won," and I was like, "What? Okay, all right." So little brag there, you guys.
I think that was when I fucking broke my arm and was gone for many weeks.
Yeah, because it was because you were supposed to try out for the musical, and then you were just like,
yes, I wanted to be the narrator.
Painkillers.
Yeah, and I got like super addicted to painkillers. It was awesome.
It was awesome.
Great. Dude, I fucking like laid in bed and just watched like that stupid ghost hunting show with the Taps guys that they made fun of in South Park. I watched that for like, it was like there was a week-long marathon. I watched all of it. I don't remember any of it.
Oh my god.
It rocked.
You can just imagine you laying in bed as they're just going through their fucking ghost thing, and oh my god, did you smell that? These ghosts, they're making smells.
I popped some Percocet. I'm like, damn right, there's some fucking ghosts in that bitch. To be fair, it wasn't like just a broken arm. It was like so bad I had to get some bone grafted from my hip onto it. So it was like a little worse than your standard broken arm, but yeah, it was pretty high for a while.
And you had that machine that was like a...
Oh yeah, I had to wear that to school. It was like a bone stimulator, or whatever, the thing they put in my wrist, and it would like shoot like electrical shock through it to make the bone fucking pump blood or get blood through it.
Yeah, wasn't it? Because I had heard at some point that a cat purring, it purrs at the same frequency that like a bone, whatever that bone stimulator.
Yeah. I've heard that too.
Which is crazy.
I just remember it sucked because
so
everyone
weird.
thought I had a catheter. like you pee through that thing? Like, no, just a fucking little electrical magnet or whatever.
I thought you broke your arm, not your penis.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, that was like the joke to make while I was wearing that stupid fucking thing.
God damn, dude, that sucks.
Yeah.
Speaking of broken penises, I saw a medical commercial for medicine that you can take that, like, if your dick has like a bend to it, you can take this pill and it's supposed to like straighten it out. I didn't realize that was like a medical condition. I mean I don't have it, but like you would think it would just be like, stop using your dick for a while and it'll straighten out. But I guess you can just take pills for it.
Yeah.
And the side effects for like straightening out your dick were like ED and penile fractures during erection. So you can have your dick could have a little bend to it, or you could get hard and just break it. And I feel like I'd rather just, let it swing to the side, you know what I mean? Like, fuck that.
For those of you that are Christorians out there and have followed Chris Chan, he notoriously has a bent dick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, she has a bent dick.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't I don't know anything about Chris Chan.
Yeah.
I think you've sent me stuff before.
We're not going to get into it this episode, but man, there is a lot of lore. But like a long time ago, he like posted his dick pics online. Like he called it his bent duck because I think autocorrect. So like, there's a very famous picture of his bent duck, and I mean, he's quite well endowed, but he does have like a significant curve. Like, you could probably do some algebra and figure out the curve.
You could probably do some algebra too. There you go. That's a real life application of algebra 2, man. Fucking just calculate a dick curve. That's pretty cool. That's cool.
I have to wonder if there's any sort of complications that come from that kind of thing, like depending on size or,
Yeah. Yeah, like, there's probably issues. I mean, if there's pharmaceutical intervention, it's gotta be debilitating, I would think. I don't know. Maybe I just don't use my dick enough to get a bend to it, so... Whatever. Whatever. If we're not here to talk about my lack of a love life, we're here to talk about anime.
And bent dicks.
This is an anime podcast. And bent dicks.
That was what we discussed before the show, folks. So
Yeah. And it was like, we're gonna bring it up, so get used to it.
This is the bent dick arc of Midwest Scumbag podcast. We've had, we've had true crime, we've had fucking birthday cake conspiracies.
Right.
Now it's the bent dick.
It's a bent dick. We're gonna we're gonna talk about life with bent dicks.
Bent dick syndrome. There's probably a name for it.
There's 100% a name for it, but like the commercial I saw for the medicine, it threw me off guard because I was like, first off, whoa, that's that it is a medical condition and it's not just like, your dick is bent. Like there's a medical, there's a word for it. There's a diagnosis, and it threw me off. I didn't realize it, and then it was like here, and then it showed the pill being dissolved, and then like the substitute dick like straightening out on. It was very weird. I was like, very weird. But that's America for you. We can advertise medicine on TV about shit like bent dicks and stuff.
Yeah, it's weird that that's such a, even from my childhood, I remember, shit like that. The advertising, pharmaceutical advertising. Also, like, mesothelioma. You got mesothelioma, call this number if you worked in a whatever. Or then there was that diabetes guy for a while. You have diabetes.
Yeah.
I have diabetes.
I'm diabetes.
He was obviously a very overweight, like, his face was super red during the commercial. He was obviously suffering. Like, yeah, I bet you do have diabetes, bro.
It's probably pretty clear you have diabetes, dude.
But it's just nothing I ever really thought about, It was just always on TV,
Yeah. Something else I always saw on TV that I didn't think about until just recently was like, whenever it would be like, ask your parent or guardian to go online to this website or whatever. I always thought that was like a really cool thing. Like, instead of having parents, you'd have a guardian, and I always imagined it as like a huge ironclad crusader type dude who just like, is your guardian, and he'd show up to like parent-teacher conferences and be just this stoic armored knight, and it's like, who's that? Why is your dad dressed up like King Arthur? And it's like, that's my guardian. But
the sad reality, it's really like adopted kids, and
it's really that's the sad reality is that they're orphans. Yeah,
I think really like guardian is supposed to be like, you can ask your mom, you can ask your uncle, you can ask any adult in your life that you trust and your parents trust. They can go online for you and get you some dick uncurving pills.
Yeah, because they were selling those on Nickelodeon back in the day. But I always thought that was fucking awesome when I was a kid. I was like, dude, I wish I had a guardian, but no, that just means you're an orphan.
I mean, you might have a guardian technically if your parents gave you one.
Yeah, but like my parents were always around. I mean, they're still around.
Sure, but like, I mean, I have a guardian. I don't know what her name is, but I do have one. Like someone after I was born, my mom, wrote them.
Like a godmother.
Yeah, yes. I guess that's kind of what I'm thinking. Godmother, godfather. I guess they would technically.
I'd always heard of that. Yeah. I'd heard of that just based on like Harry Potter and shit, where they would be like, "Oh, that's my godfather," and Sirius Black, he's your godfather. Except
Yeah,
he
that
gets
was like a big thing.
fucking
It was like
ganked.
someone their parents trusted enough that they were like, "Hey, if anything happens to us, you take care of them." But that's not what happened. I mean, it's kind of what happened, but unfortunately, stuff happened, and can't always get what you want.
No. And not every orphan can be like Bruce Wayne, so like some of them have shitty guardians, and that's kind of, it's super sad, and I'm sorry I brought that up. To bring it all down.
Are in that kind of situation. If you are, you're stronger for it.
Yeah, you're better than me. You're better than me if you're listening and you have a guardian but not parents. That's fucking cool.
That's awesome.
You should get like a suit of armor for your guardian and tell them
That'd be like almost
that they have to wear
$3,000, and that wouldn't even be a good quality.
Yeah. Yeah,
like
it's
those
expensive.
ones you see in like pawn shops or like whatever little mom and pop stores that are like, oh, that'd be funny if we had a full suit of armor, and they're selling it for $1,000, but it's not, you wouldn't wear that.
No,
to a battle.
it's
you wouldn't wear that with sacking
it's straight up
Carthage.
aluminum. Yeah.
They probably wouldn't wear that kind. They probably wouldn't wear Crusader, because that's the one you usually see is like the Templar or whatever.
Yeah,
Full plate
the Templar
armor
outfit.
and like the Gamebison, I think. I don't know what they're called.
Gambison?
Gambison, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple layers of chainmail.
With the...
Another layer of like padding.
Mm-hmm. And the St. George tabard on top.
Yes.
That's the Crusader tabard. The big, just blank... The blank white with the red cross. That's the tabard of St. George. I looked that up
really?
recently for... Yeah, for some reason. I was looking up, the UK flag, the Union Jack, and on its Wikipedia page it says it's like an amalgamation of the St. George thing and another saint's flag that was like, blue cross or whatever, and then the red cross over it. There's like reasons behind it, and
No, sure,
I don't remember all that.
It's not vexillology. It's heraldry.
Yeah.
Is what that's called, where you have your crest or whatever, and the lines all mean. I mean, it's kind of like vexillology to an extent.
Vexillology.
That's flags.
What does that mean? Oh,
What the
okay.
line, what stuff represents on a flag.
Oh, so yeah. I mean, in the context of the Union Jack, like, yeah, that would be vexillology. That makes sense. Huh. That's cool. I want to find out, like, I'm pretty sure, I'm like 90% sure both of my family lines trace back to England. But my mom just got us some DNA test kits and stuff. So I spat in the tube, and it's going to be mailed off. And 6 to 8 weeks, I will know what my DNA profile is.
You have to let me know how that is, because my mom and brother, we were thinking about doing that this year, too.
Yeah. There was a pretty good deal going on, so my mom got one for herself and then one for me, which would translate into like my sisters as well, and then she got one for my younger brother who has a different father. So like we're gonna once we get all the results, we're gonna compare and see, because then we can really nail down like if I have X amount of percentage in whatever, but like my mom doesn't, then that means that comes from my father's side.
Are you worried about like finding that maybe you have some predisposition to a terminal disease? Because that can happen, or a genetic disease.
Maybe. I mean, I'd be curious about it, just because I don't like my family, at least as far as I know, my family didn't really do the whole genealogy thing. They didn't keep track of, at least on my father's side for sure, they didn't keep track of when they immigrated to America, or if they were stemmed from a native tribe, or if they, I don't know fucking anything about my dad's side of the family. And then my mom's aunt traced back some of hers. There is a line, if you're to believe what she's traced back. I do have a connection to Mary Boleyn, I believe. who was like Anne Boleyn's sister, one of Henry VIII's wives,
tutors.
Yeah. So if you were to believe that, then I do have some sort of tangential connection to like nobility.
Oh, yeah,
but
that'd be cool.
it's probably so muddled. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool to know. Yeah. I hope when I do it, they find that I'm like the long lost, like great grandson of Queen Elizabeth. and
You're
I'm
like,
actually
this is
next
the
in
other
line
royal
of succession by right.
Dude, I hope so. I hope so for
That'd
your
be
sake
baller.
that's true.
Fucking, like, I'd subsidize a castle or two for us, and then we'd,
Then we do the podcast out of your castle.
yeah,
Fuck
that'd be
yeah.
awesome.
Fucking
You get your own little fiefdom and fucking run your own
Yeah.
little land.
Change the name of our podcast to Mid Essex Scumbags. I think that's I think that's a region in the
There
UK.
you go. Perfect. Plan for it, folks. You'll see. Give me a couple months, and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
We're gonna elevate
I'll
this.
give you guys the breakdown. Just to have some sort of culture behind it other than fucking Midwest trash, dude.
Oh, sure. I guess in that vein, and at least discussing family history, I went and visited my grandfather over the weekend. My paternal, or maternal, I should say, grandfather. And we got some, he has like a whole bunch of stuff from my great-grandmother. Anyway,
Nice.
my great-grandfather was a sergeant in World War II, and we found a box of stuff he brought over from his campaign. He was like in the armored division, so like think tanks and stuff. Anyway, there was some Nazi paraphernalia that he brought back with him, which was like, it was all super. He had like a bunch of coins. He had like a lyre from Italy.
No way,
Yeah,
really?
like a 10.
Like the musical instrument?
No,
That's
not the instrument. The currency. It's called a lyre.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that
dude.
would
He
be
had it
awesome.
straight
But no, instead it was like there was a Nazi pennant with a swastika on it, and like 2 belt buckles. One had the Iron Eagle, and the other one just was like a straight swastika. There was like some other pin that was from not a regiment, but like it was given to people that helped out the Nazi regime, like civilians.
Oh.
So just a bunch of that kind of stuff. It was pretty crazy to look at. And he's not like a blood relative. He's like my great grandmother's like 5th or 6th husband.
Oh. Damn, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I wish I got some.
I guess
pictures
people
I'd
died
send
a
to
lot
you.
back then.
Yeah,
That
they
makes
did.
sense.
That's why people had like 20 fucking kids, because realistically, only like 30% of them would survive.
Yeah. Which is real sad.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's a testament to modern medicine now that we can fucking keep 99% of babies alive.
Yeah.
So, or yeah. At least as of now. I mean, that's cool. So he fought so he was on the fighting the Nazi side.
Yeah,
he wasn't fighting
he was in
the Japanese.
European theater.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has this whole like, I mean, they're not like actual battle maps or anything. They're like, it's probably something he got after the fact, but it's his regiment and like where they came in and their whole campaign through Europe up to, Germany.
Nice. That shit's really interesting.
Yeah.
I know that people can get real deep into the World War II lore, and I haven't, because it was just, it was real depressing when I first learned about it and learned about how many Jews died, and it was like, oh, that's real sad, and then I didn't ever really look into
Yes,
the
folks, we do believe in the
military.
Holocaust here on Midwest Scumbags.
Yeah.
We're not filthy degenerates.
We're not full-on Holocaust deniers.
No.
That's those people. I don't know. I don't know how you can. I don't know how you can
There's so much
how you
evidence.
can deny it.
I mean,
It's
like,
insane.
who would fake that? It's like the moon landing. Like, who
Right.
would fake that shit? You'd have
Right.
to really go out of
Well,
your way to fake it. You'd have to really, like, I mean...
Yeah, yeah. Like the moon landing, I can see being faked for political reasons.
Sure,
but,
yeah, sure, but
you
not,
know,
like...
just to show those Russians what for. You know what I
It's
mean?
hard to fake a genocide.
It is, yeah. It's hard to fake a genocide. I mean, just hearing about fucking how many Holocaust museums there are with, like, the piles of shoes and gold teeth. And
People still
that
living
shit's
with
depressing.
tattoos on them.
God, yeah, dude. That shit sucks. Like, don't fucking commit genocide, everybody. It's not cool. It's not cool.
Not cool.
Genocide bad.
China, we see you. Oh, boy. Oh, man.
Fucking-
Fuck it, I don't care. I don't give a shit.
This podcast is a big listen with GGP.
Oh, that would be fucking nuts, wouldn't it? Like, what if all 10 of those people that listen were just using a VPN from China?
Right? They're just listening in to get the American experience, so that, you know, they're just waiting for us to slip up and be like, yeah, now would be a good time to nuke us or something.
That's right. Everyone
like,
thinks they're going to attack the East or West Coast first because, you know, whatever, Los Angeles, New York, fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be
Yeah, fuck
attacking
them.
Iowa. They're going to be attacking Nebraska and Oklahoma and Missouri and Kansas. They're going to attack them.
Yeah.
Just as a show
yeah,
of power.
they are.
Because if you can get an ICBM to launch all the way from, like, I don't know, off the coast of San Francisco, I assume they'd get that close.
Yeah,
launch
you
that
could.
all the
I'm
way
sure
into
they could
Kansas?
launch one.
Fuck.
Uh huh.
on
Like,
you.
certainly they've played Metal Gear, and somebody has a Metal Gear around there, and they can launch a nuke from what are they? An aircraft carrier in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
come
that
on.
was a big one with Metal Gear.
Yeah,
You can't do that right now. You can from a submarine, but
Yeah. If you want to know more about Metal Gear Solid, go take a listen to our Metal Gear episode. The only episode that's like 2.5 hours long. And
you get the full story and then some.
and then some. You'll get our takes on it. And I know that's why you're here. You're here to listen to our opinions, our big brain, fucking well-informed opinions on things in this life. And yeah.
So I'm going to segue into the next topic because I want to keep it relevant.
Yeah, we got hard in the
We
politics.
did. I
Yeah,
want to
go
keep it
ahead.
relevant to our thumbnail too, because you might be wondering, oh, what? Dagoth. I mean, we talked about the anime, but what's old Dagoth doing there?
What is he doing there?
He's a god. What a sweet and
think you can
intoxicating
kill a god?
innocence. But no, throughout the week, I mean, Elliot have been talking, and I've been playing a fuck ton of Skyrim again. I fucking got sucked back into that
Yeah.
game. I haven't played it, like, seriously. I mean, you know, like, seriously playing it maybe since 2014, 2015 is when I did my second playthrough.
Yeah.
And it was,
Damn.
like, I played it once purely vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played it again with some mods. Then I just hadn't touched it. I mean, I haven't touched it in years. I beat it twice. At least the main story and
Nice.
pretty much everything else that there is to do. But I don't know. I just got sucked into it again. And I think it's just because it's so easy to pick up.
It really is. It's actually like a super fucking fun game. Like, there's a reason it's been ported to every console known to man and some known to monkey in the last fucking 10 years. Like,
Yeah, I mean, they didn't do that with Oblivion or Morrowind. I mean, I guess Morrowind
No,
got...
they did not.
I don't know. I don't think it is on Switch, is it?
No. No. For
Yeah.
sure it's not. Not on Switch. It's, I want to say it's still original Xbox and then PC,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
I think is the only two where you can play
I think you
Morrowind.
can play it backwards compatible on Xbox now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But honestly,
That
a
makes sense.
toaster could run Morrowind at this point. And you can mod it
Yeah,
to be a
dude.
bit more forgiving with its mechanics because it's a very, very
Yeah.
hard game. Very tough.
I
Never beat it.
I need to give it another go because I bought it in the hype of Because I didn't get Skyrim when it first came out because I was poor at the time, and then I got a job and was out of high school, and I was like, now I can play video games all the fucking time. So then I got Skyrim and played the fuck out of it on the PS3 version up until the save file got too big, and then got it again on PC, and then I was like, well, let me get Oblivion again, and because I got Oblivion first. That's right. Oblivion Game of the Year edition on PS3, and my older brother kind of took over it. He got out of the military around the time that I got it, and he fucking played the shit out of it. And I watched, so I got the main story, and he did like all the DLC too, the whole Knights of the Nine and
the Sheogoraths.
Shivering Isles. Yeah. Dude, that was such a cool fucking game. Oblivion was so cool.
Oblivion rocked. I played the fuck out of Oblivion.
Yeah.
I got it right when it came out, almost. I think it came out.
Man.
I got it on my birthday, and I know it came out that year, so like 2006, nice. I want to say.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah. And I played.
I don't even remember where it was in 2006. Damn. That's pretty cool, dude. Having witnessed Oblivion when it was at the height of graphic fidelity, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it blew my mind.
Bet that was
my little
cool.
mind that a world like this could exist in a little box.
Yeah.
Just that big. The scope of it was unreal. Looking back on it now, it's very dated.
Yeah.
They had like maybe 5 or 6 voice actors total, I think.
Yeah, it was that one dude who fucking did like all the voices of all the dudes who were male, like human Breton.
Nord Imperial, yeah.
Nord Imperial, yeah.
Yes.
Like all of them. Stop right there, criminal scum. That guy. He did everything.
Why won't you die? We're hearing that a ton. And it's like they had Patrick Stewart for the first, 20 minutes. He's the only voice
he
that
was
stands
Tiber
out.
Septim, right?
Yeah. Or Uriel Septim.
Uriel Septim, yeah.
And, he does the whole
Tiber
intro.
was the one that became God.
Yeah, Tiber was, getting some lore now. Tiber, he was, whatever. He's Talos. He was, the first emperor.
Yeah. Okay.
He was given the voice by Akatosh or Kinnereth, I forget. But yes, Oblivion was nuts. It was just crazy. So much you could do. All the quests, all the side quests were really good. I mean, it was coming from Morrowind, and it still had the DNA of Morrowind. It's still a pretty complex RPG under the hood, as far as magic and enchanting and all that stuff goes.
Yeah.
Which, unfortunately, in Skyrim got really dumbed down. You can still do some crazy shit, but in Morrowind, you could make your own spells. So you just turn yourself into a god, give yourself invulnerability and water walking and flight, and
fucking crazy, dude. I wish I had given Morrowind some more time, and instead of I played maybe 3 or 4 hours on it. You guys can check my Steam profile. It's on there.
It's hard. It's very hard.
Yeah, it's fucking hard.
And you start with the DLC too, so you get they immediately send a Dark Brotherhood assassin after you.
Oh,
the
man.
first time you sleep or wait when you get out of the tutorial area.
That's crazy.
So that makes it way harder. That's you can mod that out. If you play Morrowind today, I would suggest modding it a lot.
Man.
It's kind of, it's contentious on whether you mod the combat, because the combat is
annoying and infuriating.
Because no matter
fucking piss me off.
It's all dice rolls. I mean, every time you click, you roll a die. And if it's too low, you're going to miss. Plus, it's modified based off your, with short swords or magic. Whatever you decide to build. And, people will be like, oh, I want to be a wizard. And you start off as, you're good with destruction spells, but then when you cast a restoration spell, it will just fail constantly because you're not good enough to cast it.
That's so crazy.
You can mod that out if you want. You can mod it so it's more like Skyrim, where you're always guaranteed to hit unless you fuck up and miss.
Yeah, that probably is what I need to do, because when I started Morrowind, I was like, all right, I'm going to be a wood elf and go with like a ranger. And so I had a bow, and arrows were already super expensive, so I had like 10 arrows. And then I went into like one of the first caves and was shooting, I don't know, like a crab thing or something. And I for sure was hitting it because I made sure to aim. And then like,
but you're still missing.
The arrow clearly hit it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck is this? And then I didn't have like a backup weapon. So then I ran out of arrows and I was just done. And I just kept dying. And I was like, okay, well, just mad. Just
That's
mad. It made me
Morrowind
mad.
for you. I mean, if you're gonna play, if you play it and mod it, combat, fine. But don't do a quest marker or anything, because that really... that was like the big thing with it, is you didn't have... or in Oblivion, they gave you a little thing at the top of your screen, and you could select what quest you were doing, and it would have a marker there, so you would know where to go. Morrowind, no.
Yeah.
Someone would be like, oh, well, you just go down this road, and then you start heading west until you see these 2 trees. Then you start heading northeast, and then once you hit the tower, you've gone too far, go back. It was like, it's like that. You get a little thing in your journal that tells you where to go. It doesn't show you.
Yeah, the journal was a big thing, because that's sort of those super old school RPGs that everything was like, all the information was in text, so you had to read everything and then kind of understand what the fuck they were talking about. And then it was like important keywords were highlighted and had a glossary index, and something would mention.
And depending on if you had heard something from somebody else, you wouldn't be able to bring it up with the person you needed to talk to because you hadn't talked to the other person to get to that. There's a lot of reading. So if you don't like reading, I wouldn't recommend it either.
If you're in that mood like I am, where I'm like, man, I don't want to fucking read my anime.
If you think Skyrim has too much reading, just with the books that you don't even have to read, and then like the occasional notes that you find, if you think that's too much, then no, you won't enjoy Morrowind at all.
The Skyrim books that have like 3 pages of text, and you're like, ugh, I have to read this.
If I want the lore, I have to fucking read 3 pages of this bullshit that gave me an alchemy increase for some reason. But it always, it always relates. Like, they're good about that. It's not like you just pick up a random book and it teaches you one-handed. It'll be like a book about a guy that was really good with a sword, and maybe you learn a new move from it. That's how I see it in my head anyway, or rationalize it. Why you're increasing your skill. Yeah,
or the Lusty Argonian Maid series.
Oh yeah, I mean
that's some hot
classic.
writing, bro. Yeah,
which lifts her tail. I believe that's the main chick's name.
Yeah.
She,
all I know is reptile chicks are hot because of that.
Yeah, I mean, fuck.
The little story within Skyrim.
It's canon that like everybody's sexual bits are like you can fuck whatever in the Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
That's canon. You want to fuck a cat person that literally looks like a cat person? You can. I mean, the elf and like regular looking people, that's that makes sense. That's fine. But it's like they added those 2 extremes, and like, nah, they got vaginas and dicks too. They have whatever secondary sexual characteristics. The fucking lizard bitches have boobs and
exactly.
Like...
I remember there was a big deal of like comics that I saw that was like Argonian chicks, and somebody would be checking out their chest, and it was like, oh, that's just where I keep my eggs, because reptiles don't have tits. But not in Elder Scrolls, man.
They have scaly titties.
They have tits. Yeah.
If you're into that,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great world they built. Thanks, Todd. It just works. It just works.
Yeah. It just works, dude. It just makes sense. Like, what god is it that's like the god of lust and love and stuff?
Dibella?
I forget her name. Mara?
Or maybe it is Mara.
Is it Mara or Dibella? One of those is like,
I think you get married
love,
with
and the
Mara,
other one is lust,
so,
right? Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, that would be like love, but then you all have the lesser gods, the Aedra and the Daedra, who like have some influence in the world. Everyone, another hand touches the beacon. Fuck. Gotta do this shit again. Go get that shitty sword that scales with your level.
Yeah.
That's another thing between Skyrim, to some extent Oblivion. I think Oblivion's where they really got rid of it, but like in Morrowind, if you were to go into like a Dwemer, which is Dwarven, for those of you that don't know, if you go into one of their ruins at like a really low level and somehow are able to make it through it and get to the treasure would be unique.
Oh.
And there's some, there's some of that in Skyrim too, and Oblivion, of course, but like it was like every cave was tailored to be super unique, and I mean they all look the same. That's been an issue since Morrowind.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But they would, and they still do that too. Like each place has its own story. That's something Bethesda's really good at. I'll say, is like putting those little stories that aren't, just by looking at something. Like you see a skeleton that's like in an area that's trapped and crawling towards something. It's little shit like that just makes the world feel lived in.
It's kind of like all the Fallout vaults where you would go and explore a vault and it would be overrun with like rad roaches or whatever, and you'd go find the overseer's computer and they'd have logs of like what experiment they were doing and why and when it went wrong and like what the fuck happened and stuff. That shit was super cool. I thought that was
like that
crazy
about the game.
interesting.
Even Fallout 4 did that pretty well. Just making the areas really interesting to explore, and they were all kind of unique and had their own little story with them.
Nice.
The one from Fallout I remember the most, and then like this one, it's just like you go into a random house, and then you, the thing it was from New Vegas, so not Bethesda, Obsidian. Either way, they both do it really well. Go into the house, go into the bathroom, and you see like 2 skeletons in the tub, and there's a toaster in the tub.
Oh man.
Bunch of beer and stuff. Maybe
that's
some drugs.
Dark. Oof. Damn.
But yeah, it's stuff like that just makes the world makes those worlds interesting to explore, which I mean, I've played every major release from them since Oblivion. I feel like.
Nice.
Besides Fallout 76, and I even played a little bit of that.
Oh yeah. I did not. I did not even. I thought about it. It looked really promising.
I think if you and I were to pick it up and play it together and like build our characters together, that would probably be a lot funner. There is like a single player thing you can do if you choose to, and it can also be done multiplayer. But they added like NPCs and actual people because when it like started, it was all just like robot vendors. From what I remember, but eventually they like added a whole story that you can go through, plus all the DLC and whatever.
Huh. Okay. I thought it was a cool idea, and all the stuff that they promised.
It's like it's what people
great.
wanted when you think about it, because everyone was like, "Oh, I love Fallout. I'd love to be able to play it with my buddy." And it's that. It is exactly that. I mean, the gunplay, the emergent exploration. That's all there now. I don't think it was at launch, but I mean, now it might be fun to look into.
Yeah, I'll have to look into it, unless it's like a whole fucking, oh look, here's the game and all of our DLC for like $120, and I'm like,
Yeah, I remember specifically when I played it, I got to a point where you could like set up your own base, basically wherever. That was ported from Fallout 4. But like all the cosmetic stuff was you had to buy with whatever Nuka coins, whatever bullshit currency they decided to come up with. So there is that. And the same with Elder Scrolls Online, which I've heard is very good.
Yeah, I've been so tempted to get into Elder Scrolls Online, but I just haven't. I haven't pulled the trigger on it, and I don't know what I'm waiting for. But that was kind of the thing with like after Skyrim, and it was like, what are they gonna do with Elder Scrolls 6? And now I don't know, because like I thought at first it would be they'd go into Black Marsh and do all the Argonian things, but I was like, no, that was just an expansion on ESO. And then I was like, okay, well, what about the Red Guards and going into their area and like, no, that I think that was an expansion of Elder Scrolls Online.
There was also
so it's
a game
like, what
that
the
was
fuck?
set in the Redguard area.
I thought I saw something about that.
It was like
yeah.
non-conventional because there was Arena and then Daggerfall and then there was that one which was like it was like a story set. It was like an adventure game, like Uncharted kind of, but very old, like PC, like 98.
Yeah. I did see that like recently. Then I was like, oh, I had no idea it fucking existed until then. And I mean, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with Elder Scrolls 6.
All we know now is it's gonna be High Rock. Which is Breton
okay.
territory.
Oh.
Which it makes sense. I really wanted Elsewhere.
Yeah. God, that would be so cool.
Just with jungles and a desert and whatever. But
yeah.
High Rock's cool. It makes sense. I'm sure they're saving like Elsewhere and Black Marsh. I'm sure they're saving that for like when technology is super advanced and they can really deliver on it. Because like Black Marsh alone would be very
yeah, there'd have to be huge underwater sections, right? Because like the Argonians can breathe water.
Yeah, they
right?
breathe. Yeah, that's the. I almost started an Argonian just for that on Skyrim, but I was like, how many times do I fucking find myself underwater? And like the first, one of the
Skyrim,
first dungeons I did was like most of it was underwater, just because of where I started.
Nice. You did that. You did that one mod, right? That let you just start wherever.
Start, I think it's called, and yeah.
Nice.
It lets you, instead of doing the like, oh, you're awake. Yeah, you skip that whole part. Well, you don't skip it. That still happens, but it happens without you there. So, like the events at Helgen, they all take place, and I mean it's kind of buggy because I went to Helgen and it was like, oh, go check out this cave that was in this book that I found, and fucking Hadvar was in there, and I saved him, and like he started talking, but like he was saying something, but words weren't coming out of his mouth because I think it was just buggy. But yeah, essentially you can like skip that and go do it whenever you want, or never do it.
That's pretty dope.
I think I was like level 17 or 18 when I went there.
Wow.
So pretty far into the game. But yeah, like you could start as like I started as a Warlock's Thrall that just like snapped out of it.
Nice.
At some point.
That's cool.
But you could do a whole bunch of different stuff. Like you could start off in jail like Oblivion if you wanted to.
That's dope. I think I did one back in the day that I don't think it was called Immersive Start or whatever. It was just like Live a New Life.
That's
or
it. That's
like
what
that.
it's called. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I did that back in once for one of my second or third times. Every time I get a new computer and I install Steam, I usually install Skyrim and play it for a little bit.
How can I fucking tank my FPS with Skyrim?
Yeah. But I did one that was like I made a like a wood elf character and started him as like a bandit. So I started in a bandit hideout, and it was like you're a bandit, but then you decide to like change your ways and realize that what you're doing is bad, and you want to be a good guy now. So like you start out the top of a bandit tower, and then you have to fight your way out of, because all the bandits are aggro to you now, and it's like I thought that was pretty sweet.
Really adds to the immersion, which is something I think Skyrim does pretty well. You really can play your character however you want, although you end up kind of just becoming a murder hobo. But I mean, I installed another mod, a follower companion mod. It's like the most popular one. It's called Inigo.
Oh.
And he's a Khajiit.
What does that do? Oh, okay.
And it was like, it's interesting because like I started in a cave that was near Riften, and this Inigo mod, he was in Riften jail. So he's like the backstory is he thinks you're somebody else, that he's somebody he betrayed. And so he swears his life to you. It's like a life debt. And it's crazy, just because it's a mod. But this dude, like, I don't know if it's the guy that programmed it or whatever, but whoever did the voice acting, on point,
Like fully voiced
yes,
too. Wow,
fully voiced,
okay.
and like since I've started, he's had like a unique voice line for almost everywhere we go.
Wow,
It's always something different. Like I did I did Helgen, and then we got to Helgen, and he was like, "Oh shit, dragons in Skyrim, that's not a good sign." Went to Whiterun, and he's talking about Whiterun and shit, and eventually Lydia joins, and they had a conversation that actually worked.
Wow.
Yeah,
damn.
they put a lot of effort into it. I mean,
Holy shit, that's probably like a million lines of code, dude. That's insane.
I think it's like
That's a
8,000
lot of
plus
work.
lines of dialogue, is what the thing
Wow.
said.
Oof.
So, and he's like,
That's a
he's
lot.
very powerful too. So he's basically it's been like his story, really. And I'm just tagging along.
You just along for the ride. You just decide where to go, and then he's like, I can play out my story.
That's
here."
basically the way it is. That's how he kind of sees
dope.
it too.
Man,
like-
that's really
yeah.
cool.
I highly recommend, if you pick up Skyrim again, download that mod and fucking seek him out. He's awesome.
That's fucking awesome. How many super weeby mods have you downloaded?
I thought about getting like an anime follower, like an anime eyes follower thing for like the female characters, but I was like, I
Nice.
kind of want to keep it close to vanilla, but different enough so it's fresh. So I have like a couple graphics mods that change things. I have a mod that makes like people in the city, their AI is a bit better, so at night people will go hang out at the tavern and dance and shit.
That's cool. Okay.
Another mod that adds like a shit ton of spells. I mean, it's insane, all the spells there are. There's like a muffle spell, so you walk silently. That may have been in vanilla, but there's a bunch of
Maybe there was a shout for it.
maybe, yeah, I think there was, but there are definitely spells that weren't, like one that just you can like life. I don't know if you call it a life tap, but I don't know. There's a ton of different spells that
Yeah.
just crazy.
I remember
stuff. Like
I got
summoning
one-
a cloud of lightning that would just stay over a person and shock them.
Oh, that's cool.
I know that wasn't in the main game, but that's one of the spells that I
Yeah.
have. And
Man. I remember one of the mods that I did back in the day. It was a overhaul on arrows, so that you could like craft better arrows, and then you could also craft like lightning arrows and exploding arrows and stuff.
Oh.
But it was broken as fuck, because like you could just make a shitload of exploding arrows with like the same ingredients that you would use to make like iron daggers. So and then the exploding arrows would do insane damage. So it was broken. So I thought it was fun to be able to make my own arrows, but then it was like, I
does
better
sound
not.
fun.
I abused it.
Yeah, sure.
I abused it.
Yeah. It's Skyrim. You can play it your own way. If it's too easy,
Yeah,
just turn
yeah.
the difficulty up. They become bullet sponges. Like every enemy
Yeah.
becomes a bullet sponge. And like low-level bandits.
Nice.
Yeah, what a good series of games. I just want to give a
Right?
shout out. Thank you, Todd Howard. God Howard.
God, how?
He was in the chess club. By the way.
Oh, was he? Was he? I don't know if I can trust him. I don't know.
Keeps telling those sweet
know
little
if I-
lies, man. He really does. He even got me hyped for Starfield. I mean, damn.
Yeah, I haven't. I didn't watch the thing on it, but that's what I've heard, is that he had all the crazy. There's a million fucking planets, and you can fucking do
Go there
this.
immediately.
Yeah, and it's like, really?
No,
Are you
I
sure?
don't think that's gonna be the case. If anything, like the procedurally generated planets, that'll be good for modding, because if like modders can be like, oh, I'll just take this random planet that you can jump to, I guess would probably be that's my guess, is what that's really for, is so people can just do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope. As far as, I don't know what it's like to mod things or to make mods. It seems crazy to me, but I think that's really cool of Bethesda to have made like the Gek. I mean, fucking Fallout 1,
Morrowind.
Right? That they had was it Morrowind was they first
Morrowind
introduced
had
it?
The creation kit, or no, it was something called something else, but they had modding tools. That's why there's so many fucking mods for Morrowind.
Oh, that makes sense.
But yeah, that was like when they.
I thought they had it for back for like fucking the first Fallout or like Fallout 2. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. Yeah, I think they had.
I thought they had it.
I think they even had something for Daggerfall.
Oh man!
That, but they've always been pretty friendly to people taking their shit, and as long as they don't make money off it.
Yeah.
Although I think it's different now. I think if they're like sponsored by Bethesda, they get, I don't know, like the ones on Xbox that are, get like 1 billion hits. I mean, I imagine those gotta. Maybe they like are cool with letting them have a Patreon or something.
Yeah, I've heard that there are some mods that are that fucking popular that they actually ported them to the console.
Yeah, the anniversary
versions, which is crazy.
A bunch of stuff like fishing.
Oh.
So you can fish now, and they even have a bunch of maps and stuff. And there's some other stuff too, but.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It's insane that it's still. You make me want to fucking reinstall Skyrim, but I just bought Tiny Tina. Finally came to Steam.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah. How was that?
I bought It's really fucking fun, dude. I'm really enjoying it.
What class did you pick?
I went with the spell shot, which is like the full on mage. Like all the classes are like part mage, part whatever. But the spell shot was like the full on mage, so you can equip 2 spells instead of just like the one in a class skill. Yeah. And then you can, like, once you hit level, I don't know, 15, 16, something like that, you can multi-class. And so I picked up the Berserker on top of it, which is like which was, honestly, it was probably a bad choice in the end because I was like, I don't use the Berserker skills. I still use the double spells. I don't know, maybe it's just the best thing to do is to have 2 spells, but
yeah, you picked the meta.
It's fun as fuck. Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
I just thought it was the coolest.
It sounds cool.
I
would have went with Stabomancer, I think.
Yeah, which is like the rogue class. It looks so fun. I almost took that as my second. Either that or the Grave Warden is like the Necromancer, or you could be not Grave Warden, Grave something. Necromancer, and then there's like a Spore dude who does like poison stuff. He's kind of like the Druid. Spore Warden, yeah. Grave something. I can't remember what that one was.
Grave something.
And then like the Clawbringer, which is like the more dragon focused dude who does like fire and lightning focused stuff. It's fucking crazy. It's a really fun game, dude. And I understand now where some of the negative reviews were like they went too hard in trying to be funny, and I can see it. Like, for sort of a comparison to the other Borderlands games, all of the psychos are like skeletons now. So all the skeleton dudes, like every single skeleton mob has some sort of one-liner that he'll say while you're fighting him, and then he'll have like a one-liner when he dies. Like every single one of them, instead of just like doing like, yeah. So you'll end up fighting like a dozen skeletons in an area, and they'll all say something while you're fighting them, and they're all puns. So like if you don't like puns, it's not for you for sure. But they're pretty funny the first few times you hear them, and then now I'm getting to the point I'm about 12, 13 hours in, and I've heard all of the skeleton lines. And I'm like, guys, just shut the fuck up. Like, I get it. You're funny. You're gonna make a joke, and then you're gonna make another joke when you die. I get it. It's not funny anymore. So, I wish there was a way that you could just kind of shut those off, or even just lower it to be like 1 in 5 skeletons.
Oh, that
it
would
says
be
all the
nice,
funny
yeah.
lines and
I
shit.
mean, even
That'd be
Xenoblade
nice.
has
That'd be
something
really
like
cool.
that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Xenoblade 2, because it suffers from the same thing. You have your party, your little ensemble of cute anime characters, and
Right.
during battle, like, I mean, it was a thing in Xenoblade 1 too. And I mean, you know, it's like it's not really that different,
Right.
but for some reason, to me, Xenoblade 1, it's kind of endearing. You know,
Yeah.
Dunban does his Blossom Dance. Fucking
Dunban.
Rain is like, oh,
Rhine.
Rhine time. But goddamn, fucking...
Nice attack.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. In Xenoblade 2, it does the same thing, except like even when you turn down, like, because there's an option to turn down them, like, shouting out their attacks and stuff, they still fucking talk
Just
a
constantly.
lot. It's just constant.
Man.
And, you know, it's cute the first couple hours, but I'm like 25 hours into it. I'm over
Goddamn.
hearing fucking Rex say, yeah, you go with Dune. Just over it.
Yeah, god
I'm
damn.
gonna push through till the end, but I had to take a break from it. It
Right.
goes too hard into that.
That's fair. That's exactly what the Tiny Tina game does with the enemy mobs, at least.
Gameplay is great. Gameplay for a JRPG, Xenoblade, you know what you're getting into. It's fucking amazing. But god damn. God damn.
Super cool. I spent I don't know how many hours I put into the 3DS Xenoblade. Not a whole lot. Not a ton. Maybe like 25? Something like that. Like, not much. I did not get super far into it.
25 hours, I didn't get super far. That's JRPG. That's a true
true
JRPG for you.
Like, I just scratched the surface. I might be in chapter 2
Yep.
of, like, I don't know, 6 or 7. I don't know how many even chapters are in Xenoblade 1.
Yeah. It was like 8, I think.
lot.
8 or 9.
God damn.
Maybe more.
Fuck.
God, I can't remember, but yeah. I mean, it kind of picks up. There's there's a point where, like, because, I mean, with Xenoblade, it's like you get to an area, then you have to get all the quests for the area. If you want to do everything, that is. They kind of cut back on that in 2, and it's not as intense. Because 1, it was like everyone was linked in some way.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, or in Xenoblade 1 where you'd run around and you'd, like, something would drop off of an enemy and then Shulk would have a future vision and be like, whoa, I collected 8 of
that was
these
actually
things
nice
for this
because
guy
it'd be
who needed
like
it.
that was kind of their way of saying, hey, don't sell this because you're gonna have to eventually sell shit. But it's like, hey, don't sell this specific thing. You'll need that for a quest later.
Yeah, and I definitely forgot what they were, so it's like,
It marks it in the definitive
Whatever.
edition. It'll tell you what to
oh, that's nice. Fuck.
keep. Yeah.
Man. I really should have just waited and
Got the
got it
definitive.
for
Yeah, definitely.
got the Switch port.
It's
Because, like,
great.
it was one of those, like, yeah, the 3DS version of Xenoblade physical copy was super hard to find. So, but I found one in my local GameStop.
God
and I
damn,
was
you
like,
have the physical?
Fuck,
God,
I'll pick it up.
damn, that might be worth
Yeah,
like
I have a
$200
physical.
now. I don't know.
Really?
Does it have a
really?
case?
No.
okay.
No. But it was, I mean, it's the physical cartridge,
That's
and
still-
I paid a solid $45-50 for it, I think. So
Let's see, Xenoblade Chronicle.
that's good to know. If that actually has appraised in value, I won't feel like such a fucking
Let's see,
schmuck.
like, looks like $59.99. Okay.
Hey, I could get it full
you
price
go.
back. Nice. All right. And then just turn around and buy Xenoblade for the Switch with that money.
Is this new though? I think this is new.
Oh, that's
the
new.
case.
Okay. Oh, goddamn. Well, I guess I'll just hold on to it. And
One day, yeah. One
Sell
day.
it
It'll be like the
eventually,
Chrono
yeah.
Trigger DS. I think that's
Yeah.
fairly expensive.
dude, probably. I haven't seen a physical copy of Chrono Trigger, like, ever in my life. But
DS, only one left in stock. Yeah, $90. But I think that comes with the
Damn.
case and everything.
Oh, okay.
I have the cartridge of that one.
Damn, fucking high roller, bro.
And it's like
wow.
arguably the best way to play it too.
Yeah,
it has a retranslation that fits better. Some people say the original is, it's original, but it was rough.
Huh, okay. That's
cool. What I hear anyway. I think the phone port is similar, but in the Steam port, but it's definitely a game that could do with the old Octopath treatment.
Yeah.
Or just a re-release.
100%. Yeah, I'd probably buy it again. I know I bought the like digital PS1 version of it on my PS3,
which is the worst way to play it.
Which is probably the worst way to play it.
I think it's better than playing it on the PS1 itself, but I think it still suffered from a lot of the load times and some other stuff.
Yeah.
It did have the anime cutscenes though. Which is so did this DS version, but that was something you got. It was like the little 2 or 3 second cutscenes that they did. Just,
totally worth it.
Definitely worth it.
That was a purchase that I definitely have gotten my money out of for sure. I didn't play it a whole lot, honestly. So, whatever.
It's a JRPG. You got to really be in a mood for that.
Yeah, you really do. It's like a time in the. There's always like a point in the year where I'm like, man, I really need to fucking get into some JRPG. And
you can really only dedicate time to one because of all the mechanics that are usually are in just one, especially nowadays.
Yeah. Oh my god, for sure. And then like the story, there's so much story in them. It's so heavy story-wise, which is great, it's fantastic, but like you can't play 2 games at the same time if one of them is a JRPG. That was my problem with Triangle Strategy. I need to go back and finish it, but it was very, very story heavy. So, whatever. I'll get back to it eventually. I also need to finish Octopath Traveler too. Fuck, god damn it. I don't finish anything in my life, okay? I don't finish anything.
But we will finish this podcast because we have hit our hour 15 almost mark.
Oh man.
Little
That's
bonus
right.
for y'all.
A little bonus. We got into the video game talk, so we had to get into it. So
we could probably just talk about that, but we'll have to save that for next time.
That's right. You'll have it. We got to give them a reason to come back. So thanks. Thank you everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Enjoy this beautiful outro.
Don't cover listening, everybody!
I'm sorry, but I can't let you listen to any more of this track.
Patrick, where's the report button?